Good morning, students. Today we are going to begin with a new poem named as A Photograph. This poem has been written by Shirley Dawson. So let's begin with the introduction of this particular poem. As I told earlier, the poem A Photograph is written by Shirley Dawson, and the poet recalls her mother. Being as a daughter, she recalls her mother as well as her memories while looking at a childhood photograph of her mother. At that time, her mother was only 12 years old, and she looked at that photograph, and probably she went into the past to the memory of her mother. But in this, the photograph is concerned, or the photograph has been taken. The photograph had been snapped when she was only at the age of 12 or so, and the poetess was not at that time. Now, presently, at the composing of this particular poem, her mother has been dead 12 years ago, and by remembering her mother, she is full of pain, grief, as her mother is no more with her. So in the memory of her mother, she composed this particular poem. So let's begin with this particular poem. At first we go through the first 3 lines of the poem, and here it appears in front of your screen. The cardboard shows me how it was when the 2 girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. Here we find that the first word is cardboard. Cardboard indicate a picture frame, but at the same time, cardboard indicates that the things which may continue forever. The cardboard shows me, it means this picture frame. Once poetess looked at that picture frame, that cardboard, then what did she find? Okay, over the cardboard, what did she find? She find a picture, and in that picture there are 3 figures. 2 girl cousins, including poet's mother, and all these 3 girls, they went on walking. But here you find that be cautious, the word paddling has been used, and paddling has 2 sense. One is walking and another may be cycling, but not that you are moving upon the cycle. Once you are passing through the water of the sea, then it appears that you are not walking there, as if you are paddling there, cycling there, and so the paddling word has been used here. So here is the point. When the 2 girl cousins went paddling, and what is the condition? What it appears through the picture? If you go through the picture, You just consider that picture is in front of you. If you go through this picture, then in this picture you'll find that two girl cousins, each one, it means, okay, one cousin to the right hand side and another one is to the left hand side, and each one taking hold of poetess mother's hand. So picture is very clear. In this picture we find that there is a sea water and these three girls are paddling there, walking there. Poetess mother is in the middle, and to her either side, two girl cousins are holding poetess mother's hands. It's very simple. So here I'm going to repeat the explanation. The poet is looking, very simple. The poet is looking at an old photograph which is made up of cardboard, and in the picture you will find three girls. These three girls are walking on the beach, paddling on the beach, holding each other's hands. And now we are going to focus. The girl in the middle is the tallest one as well as the oldest one, older than these two girls. And the other two girls on each side are younger than her. The girl in the middle, here is an introduction by the poet. The girl in the middle is the poetess mother. What may be the age? She is around 12 years. At that time, this picture was snapped. This picture has been taken. So it's very simple. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. Through the picture, the poet is looking at a particular picture, a photograph, a cardboard photograph, where in the pictures he finds that there are three girls. One girl who is tall and the older one is in the middle, and to the either side of her, two girl cousins are holding her mother's hand, and at that time this photograph has been taken. It had been snapped. Now moving further. All three stood still. You will find that this line is very beautiful. Stood still. So here you will find that as stood still. It is a very good example of the alliteration. Alliteration is a poetic device. So stood still. All three stood still to smile. Stood still to smile. S, alliteration. Through their hair. Through there. Again, through there. Through there is again alliteration. Through their hair. It means sometimes you find that if your hair is completely scattered over your face, in two conditions. The first, either you are outside and it is windy there, and second, you have taken a bath and due to that your hair is scattered completely. Some part of the hair, some locks of the hair is already in front of your eyes. In that condition we are using the term through their hair. So picture is very clear. All three stood still to smile through their hair. Still, because it is a photograph. So in this photograph, you find that the photograph shows that all three are standing there, and through their wet hair, but at the same time smiling, so that photograph may be taken. You will find that once someone is going to take your photograph, then you find that you try to stand still. So these three girls are in a pose, although the hair is a scattered one. Some locks are in their front of the eyes and the face also. In spite of that, they are smiling. They are giving a smile, so that it means they are giving a pose so that photograph may be taken. And at the ankle with the camera. So now it is clear that all these three girls went to that place, to the side of to the beach of the sea with the uncle, and uncle has snapped that picture, and so the poet is standing or looking at that photograph. Here we find then the next line is there, so we will discuss this next line in our next stanza, but here we come to the revision of the explanation in written form. Her mother's uncle took the photograph and told them to stop and pose. Stand still in front of camera. Stand still to stop. Stop all your activities. Stop walking. Stop paddling. And pose for the camera, so that picture may be taken. Photograph may be taken. All three of them left their wet hair open and smiled at the camera. So the wet hair is already in front of their face, and at that time they stand still and smile at the camera, so uncle may capture or may take the snap at that time. Moving further, so I am going to start from the previous line. So I have taken to my first line is to the end. A sweet face, a sweet figure. Once someone is talking about the sweet face, being as a child here, you are only 17 or 18 years of the age. So if I ask you the question that which face had been termed as a sweet one, which face is a sweet one? Last day we have already celebrated Mother's Day, and all of you are wished your mother. So you find that the sweet face indicates here mother. So the poetess wrote, a sweet face. Sweet face indicates face of poetess mother. Face of the mother of the poetess. So sometimes you can say that it had been indirectly compared to the poetess mother. So we can say that it is very good example of metaphor. A sweet face. Again the explanation is there. A sweet face, my mother's. It means it was my mother's face. It means my mother is there, and so it is sweet to her. It is lovely to her. So it was the face of her mother in the picture. It was the sweet face of her mother, and at that time the poet was not born. It means this photograph has been taken when her mother was young. This photograph has been taken before the birth of the poet. So it is a time frame. When this photograph has been taken? Many years ago, when her mother was young one, before the birth of the poet. And second line goes to the second line. And the sea, which appears to have changed less. So here you find that one place there is a mother before the birth of the poet, and second, now we come to the in the picture. If you go through the picture, then you find that in the picture there is a picture of the sea. In the background there is a sea, and the poet says, and the sea which appears to have changed less. Yes, there is no change to the appearance of the sea. Here sea represents immortality, and human being picture presents mortality. After passing of the time, there is a less change to the appearance, or sometimes no change to the appearance of the sea, because these are the natural forms, these are the part of the nature, and so there is no change to this one. It means these things are immortal. Their form, their appearance cannot change compared to the time frame. But if you talk about the mother, or if you talk about the figure in the picture, then you find that probably it had been changed. So there is a contrast. One side human being, mortal one. Second side, there is sea water, that is immortal. But there is a peculiarity here. Vast their terribly transient feet. So you will find that again the terribly transient, TT. It is again alliteration. It is a good example of the alliteration. But at the same time, if you talk about the terribly transient feet, transient means the things which will continue for a short period of the time. So here, feet indicates poet's mother. Feet indicates the three girls, and feet indicates the transient nature of the human being. It means human life is a short term. Human is mortal one. And before that it has used adverb terribly, very short. Not only short, very short. So there is a terribly transient feet. These figures are short-lived, very short-lived, but their feet is being washed by whom? By the sea water. If you look at the picture, then you find that sea water is washing their feet. So it is again a very beautiful scene, that the something which had a very short life, in spite of that, that feet is being washed by the thing which cannot change, which may continue forever. And so it describes the immortal behavior of the sea. But at the same time, it also describes that although it is human being may not continue for a longer period of the time, but its feet is being washed by the immortal sea water. And in this way, so here we come to the explanation. Go through the previous line. Her mother's face, which is described as a sweet face, I have already told you. The photograph was taken long before the poet was born. The poet calls their feet terrible transient as they were so young by then and now they had grown older. But on the other hand, the sea which has touched their feet had changed less. And in this way, we find that it describes the human nature, it describes the immortality of the human nature, but it also describes that that life is really important for one. That's end for today.